I just learned a few things about cybersecurity that changed how I look at risk, and I wish I'd heard them sooner. If you're still banking on insurance as a strategy and hoping that you don't get targeted, then this one's for you. Hi everybody, I'm Russ Starke, Vice President of Strategy and Growth at Weidenhammer. And having joined the organization recently, there's a lot of information to get up to speed on, so I'm certainly in the midst of a bit of a personal crash course. But that also gave me an idea that, even though I've been a fan and a friend of the company for a long time, and I had a high level sense of what we could do and offer clients, as I'm getting deeper under the hood, I am being blown away by the true extent of the capability here. So I thought that I'd take what I'm learning, and having been in leadership and decision-making roles myself for a long time at other organizations, position and explain it in a way that I know would have resonated with me in that context. So to kick things off, I'm going to start with a big one, which is IT security or cybersecurity. So here's what I've seen a lot of, and I'm sure many of you can relate. Leaders inherently know that security is important, right? Nobody would say otherwise. But beyond that acknowledgement, there still tends to be an awful lot of hoping, or worse, assuming that we won't be a target, or that's what we have insurance for. But I think people know deep down that that's really just inviting and waiting for the inevitable. There's three quick points around that. One is, thinking that because we're not Walmart or Amazon, nobody's looking at us because they've got bigger fish to fry. That's actually the complete opposite of reality. In fact, hackers know that those big companies are a lot harder fish to fry because they're spending a ton on security and contingency. So yes, when we hear about hacks, it's big companies. That's because it's on the news, right? And we hear about those, every month or so? All the while, the statistics are clear that small and middle market companies and individuals are under constant attack all day, every day, because it's so much easier. These are crimes of opportunity, and it is way easier to attack the homes that left the doors unlocked and the keys in the ignition than the fortress down the street. Number two, believing that the tools that you use, because they're provided by third parties in the cloud, means that you can rely on their security practices and protocols. That is also quite hopeful. Most vendors do typically secure their own infrastructure, but you remain responsible for how the tools are configured, who has access, what data you put in them, and how they integrate with the rest of your environment. So not being diligent in doing so can absolutely still get the company hacked. And things like social engineering are allowing bad actors to infiltrate your organization by stealing credentials, and it's one of the leading ways that hackers are breaking in these days. And then number three, back to that responsibility. If your answer to the security threat is, well, that's what we have insurance for, make sure you read the fine print, because those policies are very specific about the things that you need to be doing as an organization and the safeguards that you need to be able to demonstrate you're upholding, like like multi-factor authentication, right? That's enforced across the organization, and if you're caught out of compliance, they will not pay your claim. This happens all the time. But now the good news. Managed services and managed security services, where instead of hiring a team or reallocating the one that you already have to be on top of security 24/7, which is really what is required, is more attainable and more affordable than ever before. And it's not just for big companies. In fact, Weidenhammer is optimized to make this available and affordable to middle market and small companies to make sure that the money that you spend buys you true 24/7 protection, ongoing upkeep, managing any software or hardware vendors in the mix, helping to select those if necessary, and best of all, the ability to truly breathe easy, knowing that you're not just hoping that you don't become a target, you're protected if you do. With keen understanding of the landscape, quick remediation in the event of a breach attempt, and making sure that you're compliant in a way that not only ensures you'll get paid if there's ever the need for a claim, but will also likely lower your premiums. I didn't realize how much peace of mind Weidenhammer could give companies, but now I do, and so do you. It's something I can really get behind and something everyone needs. If you'd like to learn more, please reach out and let's talk. More soon. Thanks for watching.